So your company have a pay freeze and you're not getting any pay raise. Should you leave them? Should you stick around? Let's talk about it. Hi everyone and welcome to S.M.E Talk. So this pay freeze is becoming a common thing between companies, especially in the past few years. It is not fair to employees for the reason is there is bad inflation, especially if you live in the US. Actually, the value of your wages are going down in comparison with everything else. I think keeping up with inflation should be a minimum requirement for companies. In my opinion, especially for the larger ones. I'm not talking about smaller businesses, but I'm talking for companies, that could be calculated based on revenue, based on assets they own, etc. The inflation should be put into account. However, if you are affected, before we get into the nitty-gritties, by the way, guys, show some love, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate this. Let's make this YouTube thing happen. Call me old school, call me traditional in a sense. I think we can still show loyalty to our employers, especially if they are the kind of employer who are struggling with the business. They're not just being greedy. And believe me, there are many companies who do pay freeze because they are greedy and they are still getting big and huge bonuses to management. These kind of employers, you shouldn't waste time and you look to leave them. But there are employers who are actually good to their employees, who are fair, who reward you when you do good, who recognize your efforts. And if you work for such an employee for all this time, and let's say this bear bug thing happened and their income dropped into half, they lost clients, people went out of business, they can't. So, there are companies who do public events, for example, and since 2020, they're out of business completely. They're wiped out because of the environment and the political decisions that are being taken across the world. What should you do in this case? I think the fact that you get in your pay, look at it on the positive side. You're not losing your job. That's the positive side. Being loyal to an employer who is good to you is a good thing. But you should have a timeline as well. You can't do that forever, especially if you have opportunities and if you are someone who is sought after elsewhere. What I would say, if you feel that pay rise is causing you not to progress in life, is affecting your decisions to buy a house, to get a mortgage, etc., and you think you can get more somewhere else, but you like your employer, you are loyal to them, you can work out a deal with them. I would go about it this way. You say, so let's say you talked about the pay rise. They told you we have pay freeze, business is no good. You would qualify, we would do this for you, but we can't at the moment. I would speak to management and say, look, I know there is a business, there is economy hardship. I know we're struggling. I'm loyal to you. I'm part of this business. I'm part of this establishment, and I don't want to turn my back on you and leave just for money. Let's work out something. Maybe you can adjust the number of days that you work. They might tell you, okay, you work 4 days a week. Let's update your contract. That gives you an additional week to do your own projects and your own work. And actually, with that kind of a deal, you may be able to earn more. So that day might give you back more than the pay raise that you ever wanted. If you work for a company who are consistent in doing pay freeze, i.e. more than 1 year, not keeping up with inflation, not getting bonuses, not getting anything that reflects the growth the business is having, you need to move on. And it's a tough decision that you like. And these kind of companies, what they tend to do, they create a comfortable working environment where you are not overworked, right? So you stick around. You do what you have to do. You stick around. You're not overworked. It's comfortable. But the wages are not up par, it's with the rest of the industry. And if pay is important to you, as it should, right? Because you're giving away your time and your youth and your talents and your skills, you should move on. Be loyal where you can, work out a deal. If not, if you feel that if you know that you're being used, you're not being treated fairly, take your skills, take your expertise, and work somewhere that appreciate that, and you get paid back accordingly. Let me know what you think. Have you come across this issue before? Have you dealt with it? And what tips would you give to the people who are watching this? Thanks for watching the video. Take care for now.